What is going on, Knicks Nation? What is going on? It is your boy David from Top Bunk Sports, and I am here with another Knicks on Top episode 5 post-game video. Now, today, the Knicks obviously played a much better game against the Bulls than they did on Friday. For the most part, you got to look at it from a standpoint of them going into this game with already emotions high, right? The emotions are already high. You already know what they're trying to bring, especially after what they just went through against Chicago on Friday. I mean, Chicago flat out embarrassed them. Jalen Brunson, after the game, he said it. Yo, it's unacceptable. I can't have that. We cannot have that. So they got embarrassed, and even though in that second half they cut it to a closer game, every time the Knicks scored in that Friday game, the Bulls answered. And that's actually what prevailed the Bulls to just flat out go ahead and take that victory. So coming into home where you're undefeated and you got everything on your side, the home crowd, you already know how to play well at home. You have home court advantage. You know what I'm saying? Like everything is falling into place. And you saw that today, man. The defensive effort was there. They were playing better defense than they were on Friday. Guys were making shots, being aggressive. You saw Jalen Brunson locked in. Guys moving the ball. You saw a more aggressive Cat. Cat shot the ball a little bit better today. Like you just saw, and then you saw McHale. You saw OG being aggressive on both ends. You just saw a much better team than you saw on Friday. And like I said, Jalen Brunson said it in the post game. It's unacceptable, and that can't happen. But yes, the Knicks brought it on both ends to beat the Bulls 128 to 116. I have an error right there, so excuse me. I will fix that. But with that being said, let's go in. Let's share the screen right here, and let's go straight into what I showed here. All right. So again, Knicks brought the energy on both sides of the ball today to cap off a win tonight. 7 steals, 24 points off of turnovers and 5 blocks, 47 points from the bench tonight. Jalen Brunson went off and he started the fast pace from the very jump. He is your player of the game tonight. Tomorrow we play the Wizards, obviously. But if you see Jalen Brunson's number, 31 points, 5 rebounds, 2 steals, 3 assists, 10 of 21, 22 from the field, 4 of 11 from 3. So not that great from 3. But again, he could be better within time. But yes, man, I mean, a very, very, very important game today. I think they sent the message. I think you kind of see what they were trying to do. Let's look at some of the numbers from overall. Let's just pay attention to, because again, I know everybody's also going to talk about how we couldn't stop Josh Giddey. I mean, that to me, Josh Giddey is a very, very good player, regardless of what you think of him. You see how well he plays the point. You see how much of how much he spreads the floor, how much he's able to just pass the ball effortlessly, find his teammates, and be able to put them in position to score. Man, it's very impressive, very impressive. But again, they shot 45% from the field. They shot 47% from 3. They shot 20 of 42. So that's very impressive. Very impressive. They were on fire today from 3. 100% from free throws. They made 22 out of 22 free throws. That is rare from the Knicks. They always seem to have issues with free throws. So for them to shoot 100%, that is good to see. 31 assists, 47 total rebounds, 24 fast breaks to Chicago's 24 points off a fast break. 7 steals, 5 blocks. Like I said before, they had 14 offensive rebounds. They had 33 defensive rebounds, and half of that was Mitchell Robinson. You had 14 points off of turnovers. The Chicago Bulls had 16, so you like to take care of the basketball just a little bit better, but you like to see the effort, like I said, on both sides. Josh Giddey, obviously, like I said, he had a triple-double, 23 points, 12 rebounds, and 12 assists, while Karl Anthony Towns had Jalen Brunson, obviously, like I said, Jalen Brunson, but the next top performer behind Jalen Brunson was Karl Anthony Towns with 20 points, 15 rebounds, and 5 assists. Let's also look at more of the box score. OG Anunoby, 21 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, 1 block. He shot 8 of 17 from the field and made 3 of 7 3-pointers. So he was on fire. Mitchell Robinson, not that crazy off of boards today, only 5 boards. But he was effective. Mikal Bridges, 10 points. He was 3 of 7 from the field, 2 of 5 from three. So again, not that effective, but Mikal Bridges is effective enough to, like I said, spread the floor. Him being able to spread the floor on both ends and being able to make a lot of different effectiveness. I don't even know if I said that right, but being able to affect the game and help his team be put in position in every game to whether he's on the ball, he's off the ball, being able to spread the floor, like I said, get key steals, move and cut and do all that. Josh Hart, Josh Hart being having this injury, and I do want to talk about that as well. But Josh Hart again, coming off the bench, 14 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal. He shot five of 10 from the field, one of 4 from three. Again, being able to be effective at all times, not having a problem. You kind of saw again, he was hurt. uh Everybody keeps talking about he needs that surgery. Like I said, I'm gonna get to the article right now, but excuse me, being able to be effective and just bring something to the game. I think you gotta tip your cap to to J, to J- to J, to Josh Hart, and I think it speaks volumes to the type of person that he is. I Like I said, I do want to bring up this article just to show you guys what what I was talking about, because I think it is very important as we go. So 1 second, I have the article right here. So oh wow, I gotta read it. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna do. Instead of me putting it, because it won't allow me to put it on the screen, I'm going to read it to you guys so you guys know uh exactly what's being said, for those of you guys that did not listen to it because of the fact that it was reported mid-game and you kind of saw that he was dealing with it. So Fred Katz and James L. Edwards, who are both Knicks insiders, put out an article at 7:22. So this is right when the game had started, 22 minutes after the game had started. Josh Hart's discomfort extends beyond just his finger. The New York Knicks wing, who has played this season with a splint on his right ring finger, has a nerve injury in his hand. Hart told the Athletic Sunday, before Sunday's match with the Chicago Bulls, that the the I can't even say that word. Excuse me. The pain affects the fourth finger in his shooting hand the most, but feeling is also going in and out of his middle finger and pinky finger, not just on the court, but also in daily life tasks. So it's not only affecting him in his play, but it's also affecting what he's doing in his daily life, like probably playing with his kids, picking up food or whatever. That's a problem right there. Hart suffered an initial injury in May and underwent surgery to fix it after the Knicks 2024-2025 season ended in the Eastern Conference Finals. By the end of the summer, he went back on the court, but not long before the start of training camp, Hart re-injured it during a scrimmage at a team's practice facility. And with Hart on defense, Mikal Bridges drove to the hoop. Hart reached for the ball and felt an ache. It turned out he would require another surgery, and then it said that Hart said that the operation would keep him out of action for 3 months. So instead of getting surgery done immediately, the 30-year-old has opted to play through the injury. Doctors told him he could delay the procedure until after the season without incurring much long term. And then he said, I quote, I'll probably be a process until I get full feeling back. Hart said, the hand will be what it is. I'm working on shooting all the time. They'll come along. I'm not getting surgery. So he does not want the surgery. He wants to play through it, and I do understand it. You know what I'm saying? It's he doesn't want to let his teammates down. He knows how much he affects the team on and off the court in that locker room. He is a big leader in that locker room. He is a vet to the bench guys. But at the same time, it's like, dude, if you got to go get the surgery, go get the goddamn surgery. I'd rather have a Josh Hart healthier at the end of the season than having to deal with that. To having to deal with that at the end, and then we can't get 100% of a Josh Hart. So that's an issue to me. I feel like I appreciate you, bro, having to wanting to play through it, but it's not worth it if you're gonna keep grimacing like that, and we're only gonna get this performance that we saw today not on a consistent basis. So if I'm you, Josh Hart, whether you see this or not, which I know you won't, but if I'm you, bro, go get the surgery, bro. I'd rather you just heal that up so you don't have to deal with it towards the end when we really need you the most at 100%. But, other than that, again, the fact that he came on this court today and at least showed something, showed energy. Again, I was criticizing him on Friday's game, saying that I love Josh Hart, but he's providing nothing. And you don't like to make excuses for a lot of times, but if that's the reason why your energy has been off the last couple of games besides tonight, go get that surgery. Just please go get that surgery. But other than that, man, the New York Knicks found a way to revenge Friday's loss with a dominant victory on both ends of the floor. A 128 to 116. The New York Knicks defeat the Chicago Bulls, and they end the Chicago Bulls undefeated streak to the season. The Chicago Bulls are now 5-1, while the Knicks have an undefeated record of their own, and that is that they're undefeated at home with the 3-0 record. So shout out to the New York Knicks for that. The New York Knicks will be back tomorrow at 7 o'clock to 7:30, if I'm not mistaken. I will actually pull that up for you guys right now. So I do not get that wrong because I hate getting stuff wrong. But they will be back tomorrow to play the Washington Wizards. This is part of a 7-game homestand. They just completed that the first game today. But yes, it's at 7:30 against the Washington Wizards. The Washington Wizards are off to a 1-5 start, so that should be I wouldn't say easy game, but that should be a gimme game. Like I said, they're part of a 7-game homestand. They took care of the first one, then they still got Washington tomorrow. Then they got Minnesota, then they got Brooklyn, then they got Memphis, then they got Orlando, and then they finish off with another revenge game against the Miami Heat before they go on the road for 5 games, starting in Miami, then going to Dallas, then going to Orlando, back to Brooklyn, then to Charlotte, and then we're back home on the 28th against the Milwaukee Bucks for another revenge game. But that is all. Actually, matter of fact, let me just see if there is anything on Mike Brown. I tried to start the video before he started so we could kind of get to it, but nothing there. Actually, yep. Okay, a couple things being posted under Mike Brown. So let's hear what he got to say. I always like to do. I like to read the quote. Mike Brown is looking. Well, that's okay. Him being. But he says, quote, this is going to be a process. We're still not where we need to be offensively, but guys are starting to understand how to space the floor. Mike Brown talks about the Knicks building chemistry offensively and Mikal Bridges being, quote unquote, ahead of the curve in making reads. Let's fully hear him.
So, and I said this before, this is going to be a process, and we're still not where we need to be offensively, but guys are starting to understand how to space the floor. They're starting to understand part of spacing the floor is if you cut, how to respace. Um, they're they're understanding quick decisions, how when to get off the ball, and when you have a really good understanding of those things, you can almost make a blind. It's just one read. You make one read and you can make a blind pass because based on our spacing and our spots, somebody's supposed to be there. And Mikal, he was one of the guys that was here with the young guys early in the summer, so he was getting reps at this, back in August and September. So he's probably a little ahead of the curve in terms of, like some of the other guys that may have been injured and missed a chunk of time. And so once we get everybody up to speed, it just won't be Mikal being able to make that read. We have basketball players that can pass, dribble, and shoot. So it should be all of us that should be able to make that read very well.
Okay, so in here, we're gonna get that 1 second. So in here, it says Mike Brown talks about managing his bench and making his players feel comfortable. Quote, I have to do a better job, and I thought I did tonight of trying to have rotation and stick with it while playing four and a half, 10 guys. Let's hear it.
The bench 46 points. You just not encouraging that.
No, it's good. Now it starts with me because I got to help him. With Josh coming back, with Mitch coming back, the different things that those guys present in terms of minutes and all that. I didn't help them a ton the last couple of games. I was all over the map with substitutions. And so it was hard for those guys to get a rhythm because the guy's going in, he's coming out, he's going in, he's coming out. And so, I have to do a better job. And I thought I did tonight of trying to have a rotation and stick with it while still playing, nine and a half, 10 guys. And I have to help them continue to get comfortable in that area because we have guys that can come off the bench and make plays and knock down shots.
The bench 46 points.
Absolutely. Let me just refresh this page because I want to make sure that we didn't miss anything else. Okay, no. So nothing else from the post game. I guess this was posted 3 minutes ago. Maybe more comes out after that. But I like a lot what he said. He talked about, guys being comfortable, understanding the process, being able to just go out there and really, get to what they need to get to, right? Again, guys being able to trust each other, guys being able to space the floor out better, right? Guys being able to play with fast pace. Mike Brown being able to utilize his guys under certain minutes, being able to help the bench, right? Have conversation with his guys. This is all part of his plan. This is all what he's trying to bring to the table. And you know what I like about Mike Brown that I know a lot of people talk about, well, Tom Thibodeau this, Tom Thibodeau that. Tom Thibodeau didn't really sound very clear and very specific on a lot of the things that he would talk about in the post game or even the pregame. With Mike Brown, it's like he's going into details and talking about what he liked and why he liked it and broke it down on what effect it could have, whether it's a negative effect when we lose or whether it's a positive effect when we win, or even if it's a negative when we win, and even if it's a positive when we lose, right? He's going into detail and he sounds very clear, and I like that. Again, this is gonna take time for him to build that relationship with guys on his team. Guys got to get used to it still, right? We're still in the beginning of the season. I know people are like, well, when does that excuse finish? Well, again, by I would say by the end by the end of November, people should know. Guys should already know how he plays, right? He plays with quickness on both ends. You saw tonight, Jalen Brunson led the pace. He led the pace. You saw the way he was bringing up the ball. He was quick. He was handing it off. Guys were moving very quickly. Passing, ball movement was so much better. But everything was with pace. Everything was with pace. The aggression on defense, and the main thing that I've always said was it's how you pick up your momentum. So if the Knicks are dominating in the second quarter and they go into the half up like 13 or 15, how you pick that up and how you continue that in the third quarter is going to matter. And this is why I tweeted going into that third quarter. The Knicks are not. I'll pull up the tweet here. As a matter of fact, I will go back to this tweet to show y'all what I'm talking about because again, we've all seen what this team. We've all watched this team, right? So okay, this is here. This is it right here. This is it right here. I'm gonna show you. Okay. All right. Let me see. Excuse me. All right. Bang. Right here. Okay. So I said one thing we know is that every time they come out of the half, they start the third quarter horribly. Let's see how they start the third quarter in this game after giving themselves a bit of a boost with an 8-point lead. We were up 68-60 going into the half, going into the third quarter, excuse me. And you saw they picked up the energy. You saw, the Bulls were kind of coming in a little bit, but not like Friday's game. The Knicks were able to move the ball better, continue the pace on both ends, and really, really dominate them, especially down low. And not even down low, they were killing them from three. Right, the Bulls. You would expect a great coach like Billy Donovan to really put the pressure on them on the perimeter and really make them go in there and try to be more aggressive inside, and he didn't. The Knicks were just killing them from three. So, I was really shocked by that, but I was loving it at the same time because we rely on a lot of 3 pointers, and the fact that it actually worked against us this to our advantage this game. Again, 20 of 40 from three. That's amazing. They were really on point from three. So you love to see it. But other than that, man, again, a dominating win. the Knicks were able to get some revenge against the Chicago Bulls, and they still got 6 more games left of this homestand before they go for a 5-game road trip. You love to see, like, what a way to start off 1-0 on this homestand. And we got the Washington Wizards tomorrow. But other than that, man, I will check you guys tomorrow. This is another episode of Knicks on Top, post game episode 5. It's your boy David from Top Bunk Sports. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe this video. Make sure you guys subscribe to the Top Bunk Sports YouTube channel. Make sure you guys shoot me a follow on all the social medias on X, Instagram, and TikTok. And with that being said, is your boy David, and I will check you guys on the next video. Peace.